Hello, Marietta here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you had a wonderful day today. My day was great. And I was sitting here and I was thinking about some things. And I was thinking about the rising cost of things and the way people are cutting costs on things. And there's some very important situations that we need to talk about of why people are cutting costs on things. They're cutting costs on major things that could cost you a lot of money in the midst of them cutting costs for their family. And one of the things that I was thinking about was the cost of car insurance. The cost of car insurance. There's so many people out there on the highway now that are driving, and they're driving with no insurance, none whatsoever. They're not having full coverage. They're not thinking about liability. They're not thinking about none of that. Why? Because everything is so expensive right now that these insurance premiums are so high that people just literally cannot afford them anymore. And that is a very dangerous thing, to be out there on that highway and you out there driving and you out there out and about, and God forbid if something was to happen and they're uninsured, or you are uninsured and you get yourself into trouble, and that could cost you a lot. It could truly cost you a lot. I really believe that even though the insurance is very high, that is a high risk that you're taking to be out there on the road uninsured and not having no coverage whatsoever. Because first of all, it's illegal. Second of all, you could be taking that big risk that could land you in jail for a long time, or it could cause somebody to lose their life. And it's just a hardship because of the fact that people cannot afford to pay these high rates at this time. You would think that there would be something that would actually lower the rates on car insurance while these hardships are going on, or while we're in the midst of headed to this recession. Because right now people are choosing between paying their car insurance and eating, paying their car insurance and keeping a roof over their head, paying their car insurance and just being able to manage their daily lives with the things that they may need, whether it be medications, whether it be need just household products, whether it be just need things for them to just make it from one month to the next, or there's just no money for that at this time because of the layoffs and because of the things that's going on. People just literally cannot afford to pay these high rates in car insurance. It's just a little too much. I mean, the individual experiences they may be having, with low income, they may just, not have enough money to, the temporary financial layoffs, and not being able to find a job at this time, not being able to go back to work. It's really challenging. This is some really challenging times that we're living in, and people just literally cannot afford it. I mean, you're talking about full coverage insurance being like $1,900 a year, or $1,700, $1,800 a year. And then even if you only get liability, you still may be paying like $600 something dollars a month, or $600 something dollars every 6 months, or whatever. That's still a lot of money for most households at this time because of the fact of the prices of food. And then you're talking about food going up. So with all these costs going up, we have to think about on the back end, what are we losing? What are we sacrificing? What do we have to sacrifice? Where are we going to be able to cut costs to be able to even manage our very own lives, living day to day? This is a very important issue that needs to be had. Why? Because the insurance, I've even talked to a lady today earlier, and she was talking about cashing in on her life insurance policy because she just can't afford it no more. She cannot afford to keep paying that policy because of the fact that she got to eat. She can't afford the insurance. She can't afford to pay the life insurance. She can't afford to pay the insurance on her house. She can't afford to pay the car insurance. It is getting really bad out here, y'all. It's really getting bad out here because people are got to choose between paying their bills and actually being able to eat. It is really getting to a place where it's causing people to not know what to do or which way to go at this time, and they have to make a decision because they know they do have to eat. That's one thing you do have to do to survive. You have to eat. So when it comes down to being out here on the road with no insurance, that's a hard thing. That's a very hard thing. I mean, you think about your first-time drivers. Think about the young people that are out there driving. Think about how hard it is for them to be able to pay insurance in the first place and then for them to be out there on the road deciding whether or not they can pay their insurance, or they got to get gas to get back and forth to work first and foremost to be able to make money to pay their insurance, or they got to be able to eat, or they rooming with somebody and they got to pay rent and there's no money for insurance. So which one of those things you think is going to go lacking? Either they're going to have to pay the rent, or they're going to have to pay the insurance. They're going to have to pay their insurance, or they're going to have to eat. They're going to have to pay the insurance, or they're going to have gas to get back and forth to work, or to pay their car note. I mean, to pay the car note alone is going to cost them a lot. So they're opting out. So many people are opting out from paying the car insurance, which could be a very dangerous situation for everybody involved, for them not to figure out a way. There's got to be a way that they can get some type of insurance at a cheaper rate so that they would be able to drive their car back and forth to work, and to be able to still afford to eat and afford to keep a roof over their head some kind of way. I mean, this is getting to be ridiculous. I mean, there's just no way out of this situation, and people are feeling the pressure of it. They're feeling like they're being backed up against the wall, because it's now you're in a process of where you got to rob Peter to pay Paul, and you're just not getting anywhere in the process. It's like being on a gerbil, being on a wheel, where you just constantly keep on that cycle of not being able to know exactly which way to go. Hold on. Yeah, because, some people, they'll look at it like, oh, I haven't been in an accident in years, and I've been paying insurance for so many years, and I've never been in a car accident. So they'll look at it like, they will feel as though that, I can get away with not driving. I can get away with driving without insurance because of the fact that I've never hit no one. I've never been in an accident. So I'm paying, and that money is being wasted. And that may be true. That may be true. You may feel like that. But yet and still, it's illegal to drive down the highway without insurance. And the fact of the matter is and so you drop your insurance, then what if something does happen? The very time you think that you done got away with something, that's when something 9 times out of 10 does happen. And you would rather be protected than not at all. But I get it. I understand when you feel like you're throwing this money away because of the fact that there's been no accidents, and you're you're paying at a high dollar, and most people are paying anywhere from $150 to $200 a month for car insurance, and it's getting to be to the point where you haven't hit nobody, and even if you hit somebody, then your insurance is going up, or you don't hit nobody and your insurance is steady going up every single year. It just seems like the insurance is getting higher and higher and higher, and it's just too much. Victims, you talk about the insurance on uninsured motorists. If you're uninsured and you hit somebody, what about the victim? What happens to them? What about happens to the people that you hit? I mean, how are you going to cover the damages to their vehicle? How are you going to cover their medical expenses? How are you going to cover the fact of them feeling like now they're out of a vehicle, or maybe they're even out of their life? I mean, you just got to be careful when you're out here, and you can't just assume that, it's okay for you to ride with no insurance, or I'm going to take this risk and this, that, and other thing, and hope you don't never get caught, because that's exactly when you might get caught, is when you hoping you not get caught, because insurance is something that we have to have, and it has been a big expense, and it has always been a big expense as far as I'm concerned, and it always has been way too high, and it just seems like it just gets higher every year. No matter what you do, it just seems like your rates, you don't even have to hit nobody, it seems like your rates just keep going up. If you're even involved in the accident and you wasn't the one that caused the accident, it seems like your insurance still keep going up. I mean, these are some things that I've heard from lots of people, but right today, the problem is I'm hearing today that there's just no money for insurance. There's no money for car insurance, which is causing people to feel like their back is up against the wall. They don't know which way to go. They don't know what to do. They don't know exactly how to function in this situation, because they know that they're good people. They're honest people. They've always did things the right way. They've always taken the law of the land into consideration. But now it's just the point of good people are being pressed up against the wall, and it just feels like there's no way out. It feels like there's nothing they can do. It feels like they're at their wits' end. They done tried everything and anything to figure out how to manage this income, but yet things are still going up. And it's not helping any. When we hear stuff like Walmart is raising their prices at the end of the month or the first of the month, and now you got to pay insurance at the beginning of the month. The bills are due at the beginning of the month. Car insurance is due. The bills are coming in, and they're coming in heavy at that time. And you already at the table with your head in your hand, can't figure out exactly which way to go, or what to do, or what to delete. Can I not pay? What can I cut in half? How do I manage these expenses? And then you start cutting bills and paying half of this and half of that and half of this and half of that. And then you look up and everything done doubled, and now you're over your head. And the insurance still has to be paid. It's just a a mess. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. Because it's like saying you're being forced into situations that you have never been in. You're being forced into situations that could actually ruin your life for life. You're being forced into situations that could cause you to end up in situations that you have never, ever, ever dreamed of having yourself in. You've been always doing the things the right way. You always obeyed the laws of the land. You always knew that you had to pay your insurance. Now you're in a place where you just feel like you just don't know how it's going to get done. You don't know how you're going to be able to afford it all. You can't afford it all. And you're having a hard time to be able to deal with the car insurance. So, I mean, type down in the comments if you're feeling any pressure of any of this. If this car insurance has been pressure and you've been thinking about that, you've been searching for cheaper rates. If you have found someone and you don't mind sharing the cheaper rates with whatever agency you found, type it in the comments. Type it in the comments, because really, truly, it would be nice for us to share this information and share it with other people, and to be able to let people know to beware and be watchful while you're out there driving on these highways. Be careful when you're going up and down the road. Don't be moving too fast. I know you got the light. I know you got the right of way, but sometimes it's better for you to wait a little bit and make sure that the road is clear and make sure everything is good, because this day and time, you really got to drive for you and the next person, because I mean, people are in a hurry. People are in a hurry. They're going nowhere. You got road rage out there, and you got so many people out there that are driving with no insurance, that does not care. They do not care if they hurt you. They do not care if they hurt themselves. They're out there driving under the influence. They're out there driving while on these phones. They're out there driving, just driving reckless, period, without a thought. And in their mind, they look at it like they own the highway, to the point where I'm not going to get caught. If I don't have no insurance, I'm not going to get caught. This is the mindset of some of these people that are out there on this road, as we're going down the road trying to do things the right way and trying to live the way we were taught to live, and trying to do things in the most respectful manner as we possibly can, and trying to protect the next person, by paying your car insurance. Because, it's no fun when you have to go give up that lump sum of money all at one time. Whether it be $150, $200, $300, well, you got to go give that lump sum up all at one time in this recession, the way things are right now, and the price of everything is going up. Everything is going up but your paycheck. Everything is going up, and you don't have enough money, and the decisions that you have to make is to rob Peter or to pay Paul. You're going to have to pay this one and cut this one in half, or pay this one and not pay that one. It is a hard place to be in life right now, to be worrying about these things, But when we start talking about the car insurance, the damage that could be done, even you think about the repairs. Think about how much the repairs cost. Think about if you were broke down on the side of the road and you don't have no roadside assistance to come and pick you up, because you don't have no insurance or things of that nature. There's another bill. What do you do then? Just leave the car on the side of the road? Just leave it there and walk away? I mean, you got to think about these things. And then if you go buy a car from a car lot, buy here, pay here lot, wherever lot you get it from, you have to keep insurance on that, or it will be reported. You have to keep that insurance. So you have to figure out a way that you can. I know a lot of people are saying that they can't afford this insurance. And some of it, too, is because they don't want to take jobs that are beneath them. And sometimes you have to take whatever job you can afford to find to be able to hold on to what it is that you need to hold on to. Because, I mean, driving with no insurance, eventually you will get caught. And I just pray that that people will decide to go keep their insurance, or go get some insurance, or be extra careful while you out there, and don't hurt nobody while you out there. Try your best to keep that insurance. If you don't keep nothing else, insurance on them vehicles is important, even though I know the cost is high. Mine is high. The cost of everything is high. But those certain things that we have to keep, and we have to do, and have to do the best we can at it. You don't want to get caught out there riding dirty, because then that's not going to help nobody, and that's going to cause you to have a bigger fine, and they're going to put a fine on you, and that's going to be something else that you can't pay. Because even though we're going through this, they're not cutting us no break. They're not cutting you no break at all when you get caught illegally out here with no car insurance. Y'all talk about the courts are crowded, the courts are this, courts are that. They will make time to drag you in there, to take you to court, to take you to jail, even if you have been out there caught several times without no car insurance, or if you hurt somebody while you out there with no car insurance, you really have to weigh out the cost. I mean, it's just, you just got to weigh it out. That's all. And you want to make sure that your car is protected, as well as the people in your vehicle are protected, as well as the people in a vehicle that, God forbid, if they was to hit you or you was to hit them. You got to think about it like this. If somebody was to hit you, you would want them to pay for the damages to you, your loved ones, your car, whatever damages are done, you would want them to pay. Well, I feel the same way about mine. If mine were out there, or if it was me, if I'm out there and somebody was to hit me, I would expect for them to be adult enough, mature enough to be able to be ready to give their insurance information, and with look at it like, I'm sorry, and I do have insurance, and here's my insurance information. Let's exchange information and make sure it's on that police report, and get yourself a police report. Yes, get that too, and make sure that everything is done decent and in order. Decent and in order is the way you still got to do things, even in the midst of things looking like it's going downhill. But do not be out there caught riding without that insurance. That car insurance is needed. It is truly needed. So with that being said, I'm gonna let this video go right here. Why? Because I just was really thinking about how so many people are cutting costs on so many things, and the first thing I hear them say is, we're not paying no more car insurance. I've heard so many people say the car insurance has to go because the car insurance is way too high. And then you see all these ads on the internet and this, that, and other thing. Well, people are calling these ads, and these ads are fake too. They're not dropping insurance down to $30, $40, and $20 just to get you some insurance. A lot of them have been going down in there. And if you found out differently, because this is just what I've been hearing and what people have been telling me. So type it in the comments if you know something different, or if you're an insurance agent out there and you know where these folks can get some car insurance, and they can get some car insurance cheaper than what they're paying at these high insurance places. Type it in the comments and let them know exactly where they can go. You know, I mean, because we know all the big insurance companies, we already know who they are. So therefore, we know that there's no cheap insurance there. You're going to pay that top dollar insurance when you go get that insurance at State Farms and Progressive and Liberty Mutual and all these places. You're going to pay that. You're going to pay a pretty penny for your car insurance. So, but if there's some other places that y'all know that are Geico, all these places, as far as I'm concerned, they're all about the same, and they all charge a lot of money for car insurance, depending on what kind of car you drive. Now, if you drive an old beater or old antique car, you might get something a little cheaper. Or if you're driving something that has a whole bunch of miles on it, you probably get something a little cheaper. You might can get away with liability at maybe $40 or $50 a month, or $75 a month, something of that nature. But I really don't know. I really don't know what people consider cheap insurance. So let's have that conversation. Y'all type it in the comments, and let's get a conversation started, and let's find out exactly why is it that, I mean, we know why, because of the cost of living, because of the inflation, because of why people are opting out from paying their insurance. But what is your plan? What is your plan if and so you get caught? What is your plan? How long do you plan to be out of insurance? How do you think that that is a bill that you should not have to pay? Some people feel as though that they just don't pay it because they don't feel like that's a bill that we should have to pay, period. But yet and still, remember, we have been taught to obey the laws of the land. And the laws of the land, for years, we've always paid car insurance. And yes, car insurance to me has always been high as well. That's my opinion. So type your opinion in the comments. What do you think about the fact of car insurance? And how do you feel about people out there driving without any insurance? Is that not scary? Does that not make you feel some type of way? Does that not make you feel like, you know, it would be just our luck that something was to happen and we end up with somebody who has damaged my vehicle or hurt me or hurt one of my loved ones or hurt somebody, and they don't have no car insurance? This is a conversation that needs to be had, because where are people cutting costs? Where are they cutting costs? They're cutting costs wherever they can. Wherever they can. And the first thing it seems like to go with a lot of people I'm hearing, and this is a scary conversation that I've been having, but a lot of them saying that where they're going to cut costs is with that car insurance, with that high car insurance. $1,800, $1,700 a year, they're saying that's enough. That's enough of that. That's enough paying that. And even though we're in the midst of this recession coming about and everything is going up, nobody is telling you that you are going to get any extra money to pay this extra fees on these insurances and things of that nature. When everything starts going up, your paycheck is still the same. What do you do? What do you do when you feel like your back is up against the wall and you have nowhere to turn, and you did all you possibly can do to try to do things the right way, but yet and still it seems like your income is just getting beat down? There's not enough. Every time you look around, you get your paycheck in your hand, and time you give this agency a piece, this agency a piece, this agency, this company, there's nothing left for you or for the household. There's nothing left for you to maintain your life. This is getting hard, and it's really getting to be a problem because, like I said, a lot of people are leaving home, leaving their jobs, and all kinds of stuff is happening. And that car insurance, do you pay or do you not pay? Do you pay your car insurance this month or do you not pay it? Do you skip a month? Do you wait until it's due to pay it, or do you just skip a month, or you skip 2 or 3 months and you just try to catch it when you can? Do you try to get them free extra months in there so that you feel like you don't have to pay it? So this is the conversation we need to have. So what are your thoughts? Put your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. And if you stayed here this long and you've listened to this conversation, feel free to hit that like button. Hit that like button, subscribe. We need you over here. We're headed to 10K over here. It really helps the channel. And if and so you have not subscribed, do so. And if you've not turned your notification bell on, turn your notification bell on so you will be notified when I drop my next video. Be blessed. Have a wonderful rest of your day.